On the 24th day of the month of August, in a year not too far from our own, a YouTuber sat down at their computer. Pulling out a microphone and a set of headphones, they proceeded to start off a massive podcast.
What the hell is this crap? Man, I wanted robot wrestling from Planet 75, not some documentary. See, this is why intergalactic cable sucks. You get 18 trillion channels and there's never anything good on. Come on, there's gotta be something else. Something. Stay tuned for the absolutely completely random podcast coming up next. Oh, thank God, something else. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the absolutely completely random podcast for Saturday, August 24th, 2019. It is a pleasure to be here with all of you tonight. I am Andrew Rhodes. I am your host. But enough about me and where you are and what you're listening to and the cars whizzing by where I live and the fan off in the distance trying its damnedest to keep my room cool at 90, no, it's 81, oh thank God, 81 degrees. No more heat wave, I can't stand them anymore. Anyway, tonight I have the massive, the humongous, what am I talking about, you ask? Oh, well, glad you do. I have the massive, humongous, ass-kicking fight between Sony and Disney over poor little Spider-Man. Yes, that's right. That's going to be a humongous topic this week. Believe it or not, Keanu Reeves and... oh, what was her name? Keanu Reeves and Carrie-Anne Moss. And, oh yeah, either way, Keanu Reeves is coming back because, guess what? Neo's back because we're getting another Matrix movie. The fourth Matrix movie. Oh, yay! YouTube's automatic system remover has actually done something that, honestly, it's a bit hilarious if you think about it. If you think about it in a cosmic sort of way, they have banned robot fighting videos, claiming that they are animal cruelty. I'll explain. Don't worry, there is an explanation to this. And Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, that action RPG game, yep, believe it or not, there's been like some demo footage that's been released, and this thing looks pretty damn sweet, I'm not gonna lie. All this and more this week on the absolutely completely random podcast. But before we go into this any further, you know this song and dance by now. I know you do, because we do it every single week. But if you're in the mood for any weird stuff, oddities, collectibles, what have you, swing by my eBay page. That's ARHOADS -2012 on eBay. I have a wide variety of stuff that's for sale. I constantly am trying to add up new stuff every now and then. At least I try to put some new stuff up every month, so there is that. Believe it or not, the holidays are coming, and I will be trying my damnedest, mind you, to get up some new stuff that you might want to purchase for your friends, relatives, and people you just don't like, but still want to share that festive time of year. You know, we can put aside our differences, even though we hate each other sometimes. We can put aside our differences and bond together as human beings. You know, for 24 hours, and then go back to hating each other on the 26th. But anyway, if you're interested in anything that I might have up for sale, just some weird stuff, what have you, swing by my eBay page, ARHOADS -2012 on eBay. Hey, I gotta pay the bill somehow. I mean, that helps offsets the cost of living. It sadly does. You can also follow me on Twitter at Otaku Roads, and you can check out the official Web Designer 18 Facebook page. Because, hey, it's the 21st century, why wouldn't I have a Facebook page? Okay, so let's talk about how my week went. I know so much of you care. I do this every week, and I like to know how your weeks went too. So don't forget, don't feel ashamed or afraid to. There's no cause for any, of that here, because everybody here is friendly. I make sure of that. I police the comment sections to make sure of it. So there is that. Kind of love the annoying people that just go on the roadways at night, don't you? I apologize for that if you can hear any of that. But anyway, so my week went pretty well. But let me know how your weeks went in the comment section. Feel free to just put down, hey, I did this and this week, so, let me know. But either way, I did some stuff in Puzzles and Dragons this week. I have to find one monster so that I can level that monster up, evolve it, so that I can get the gem for said monster, so that I can evolve another monster that I actually need to evolve, to get the gem to evolve another monster that I need. Yeah, and if that didn't sound confusing or anything, I don't know what does. But yeah, I'm trying to get, at least I'm trying to evolve it as best I can. I would like to get the final evolution and just have it in like a spare team I'm working on, but not as one of the leaders, because I hate its main skill as a no Skyfall combo, which means that I can't get none of my orbs drop down after I make matches, and I hate that. But there was that. I did some stuff in there. I did get I can't even begin to imagine this. I got a lucky pull out of the pad, or the Puzzles and Dragons Island egg machine. I actually got one of the, I think it's one of, if not the top one, that you can get in the lineup, and I got it. It's actually the final boss if you try doing the collaboration, if you try doing the dungeon that they have right now for it, the Pad Island one. It's actually the final boss. I got it in the egg machine, so I'm really ecstatic about that. I love that. I'm not going to evolve it because, granted, it forms an assist item, but I just don't want to evolve it. I like it. It can stay the way it is. I'm going to level it up, and it's going to become a member of the family. It's never going to see battle. It can just sit there and build sandcastles all day long. I'll be happy. But on top of that, then I also scored the one character that I did want to get from that dungeon, so that really made me happy. Let's see, Contest of Champions is going pretty good. I do apologize to anyone that's actually joined my alliance on there. I know we don't do much, but it's one of those, it's play as you want to. This way you can get some of the extra stuff from the alliance bonuses, but you're not forced to do alliance wars. You're not forced to do alliance quests. You can do them if you want to. If I open one up, or one of the other officers opens one up, you're not obligated to do it. You can do it if you want to. That's fine. We just don't do alliance wars anymore because that whole system's still messed up yet. I'm not even gonna lie. Obviously, there was that. Celebrated my 30th birthday last Sunday, so that was a lot of fun. I got a book from my mom, how to draw manga robots, stuff like that, and I got some really cool t-shirts, one of which I found out tonight did not get inspected properly before leaving the factory, so happily it's fixable. It just has like a hole in the armpit. It is fixable, at least from what I can see. It's fixable. It just looks like the seam popped loose, and it is fixable, so I'm happy about that, because I really do like these shirts. They're nice. They're nice. They're just perfect. I like them. But yeah, it's pretty much been my week. Work sucked, but then again, it usually does. Didn't really do a discussion video this week since I had the surprise one last week. I figured everybody would like that, and plus this gives me a little bit of time. This coming week, I'm putting up the Q&A video. I'm going to aim for that to go up on Thursday. I'm going to record episode 3 of Reboots, Remakes, and Retcons on Thursday night, and that's going to go up Saturday. And Monday might just be a standard, or just a standalone rant video. I might just quick record tonight. I don't know. It could just be a review video that I kind of have sitting there that I've been wanting to put up for a while, but there is that. But otherwise, it's been a good week. Although I'd like to ask this question, though, right now, if I may, quickly. Why didn't anybody tell me how cool Dr. Stone was? I saw the preview, because Toonami's getting it starting tonight. And I saw the preview, the trailer for it, and I'm like, wait a minute, this is Dr. Stone? And I didn't know what the hell it was. I just thought it was like some, I want to say Dragon Ball ripoff in a way. But the plot's actually pretty cool. I've been sporadically watching some of the episodes. I got through at least 1 and 2, and the only other episode I could find that I could watch on YouTube was episode 6. So I'm going to try to pull it up on Crunchyroll, since by now I should be able to pull it up for free and not actually have to have an account with them, because they do that, yeah, at least to the best of my knowledge. If not, I'll see if I can find a way to watch it legitimately, because it seems pretty cool. So yeah. I've been working on stuff then also for the next season of the anime GBU, so there is that. But yeah, it's been a boring, dull, and eventful week at the same time, so there is all of that. But either way, yeah, so let me know how your weeks went in the comment section below, and let's get started on the podcast, shall we? Okay, so starting off this week, because I know this topic's going to be a long one, because I'm liable to go off on a bit of a tangent here. So please forgive me if this topic goes really long, but this has been the main bulk of my week here, has been following this story since I saw it Tuesday night. Spider-Man is out of the DC, whoa, DC, holy shit. Oh my god, wait a minute. May Stan Lee forgive me. Oh man, he's gonna come back from the dead now and haunt me for that one. Spider-Man is out of the MCU. Disney and Sony, unfortunately, were having a pissing contest, and it did not end well. In fact, this was the latest that I have heard here. Where is it here? I love how like everything wants to go so super slow because you don't touch it for a while. With my browser tabs, like if I don't actually hover on that page for a while, then it wants to go off of that page, and I hate when it does that. Yeah, so the latest that I have heard came today, and it unfortunately states beyond a doubt that Spider-Man is out of the MCU. He is done. So like I said, this came about after Disney and Sony had a massive pissing contest this week. And I mean, this is one that has literally split the internet in two. You had the Disney lovers and the MCU fans that were just bashing Sony. The minute this actually came out, they were just going after Sony like you wouldn't believe. And then there was the Sony fans that were like, look, this is a good thing. I've been staying on the fence for this, and I'm going to admit that. And I did a rant video that was like quickly, getting out my thoughts as best I could. I think it's good that Sony said no to Disney, and that's the major takeaway that I think people keep missing on this. Sony said no. The whole deal about, now, from what I've seen and what I've heard online, this was the deal that Sony had with Disney. Because I've heard two different versions of this, so I don't know which one, but it's either way, they're both about the most accurate that I've heard, but this was about the deal that I had heard. So, from what I've read online about the prior engagement that they had, and I really hate, this is with the traffic again. Seriously, it's like, what was it, 2 weeks ago? Alright, we're back to the traffic again. But anyway, the deal that Sony had with Disney at first was Sony got either 90% or 95% of the profits from the Spider-Man movies. Disney got either 5 or 10%, but they also got the merchandising rights and the ability to use Spider-Man in the MCU. Unfortunately, because apparently people were claiming that Disney didn't put up the money for the movies, that it was Sony that put up the money, and Sony's people were saying no, Sony didn't put up the money, Disney put up the money, so I don't really know which one to believe. It's far-fetched either way, but at this point, it doesn't matter. So, this is the sad part here. So, as it keeps going, and it keeps going, and going, and it's like the Energizer Bunny from hell. Sony and Disney had to sit down and rediscuss it, because apparently their contract was only for like 5 movies, and Spider-Man's been in 5 movies. You had the 3 Avengers movies, basically. 2 Avengers movies, Captain America Civil War, and then his 2 standalone movies, Homecoming and Far From Home. And Far From Home is Sony's biggest taking movie to date. It's like their biggest movie. And Marvel just looks at this, and Disney's looking at this, and Disney's like, hey, we want more. And Disney was looking at Sony like, we want a 50-50 split. And from what I had seen, the 50-50 split also included the merchandising rights, yet that Disney would keep the merchandising rights. And it just didn't pan out. So, it just gets worse, basically. So, Disney and Sony had their pissing contest, and fans were just upset about it. And it's immediately like, look, no, we're not doing this. This isn't happening. Sony said no. Disney was adamant, it's got to be 50%. We want 50-50. We want half. And they still said no. They reached a standstill. This was basically like a three-way Mexican standoff. Basically, if you've ever seen like one of those movies, that's basically what they had here. You had Spider-Man off to the side watching Disney and Sony just going at it, and he's just sitting there in the corner like, why are they fighting? So fans were hoping that when D23 came about and we were going to get some massive news, that they would have just put their differences aside and settled this. But from what I've heard now, that is a massive no. Because this was, according to a new interview conducted at D23 today, they have basically said, Kevin Feige has said that, and I quote, I actually have a good quote here, we told the story we wanted to tell. And fans are just going, that's bullshit. Sony can't have Spider-Man. They're going to fuck it up. They're going to ruin it. They're just so pissed because now it's like, well, he was supposed to be in Phase 4 of the MCU. Now he's out of Phase 4. He's out of the MCU. This isn't right. This isn't fair. They're blaming Sony like you wouldn't believe. There was a hashtag, Save Spidey. Save Spidey, in the MCU. And then, to top it all off, there's a fucking Change.org petition that was started by a fan of, I don't know if it's a fan of Spider-Man or a fan of Disney, demanding that Sony just give complete control, 100% ownership to Disney. So, majority of the time with stuff like this, when you start having this massive, humongous piece of news that comes out, then all of a sudden you have the rumors going left and right. And rumors started flying that, Disney started the hashtags to make Sony look bad, to draw people to their side, to get more and more, attention on this, so that they would, so that Sony would just cave and just give in to their demands. Sony obviously didn't cave. Now fans are pissed because, now Spider-Man's out of the MCU. Disney has no rights to it. We're not going to get a third Spider-Man movie set in the MCU. And now they're just pissed off about this. And honestly, I want to state this fact, and I want to state this fact very admirably. Sony stood their ground. They didn't just flat out give Disney what they wanted. They looked at Disney, they said no. Disney wanted a 50-50 split of Spider-Man. And that included merchandising rights on top of that, at least from what I had read. So, Sony would have been getting less money in profits. Disney would have been making more money. And I guarantee you, they would have figured out some way to have a clause in there that 2 movies down, all of a sudden they're going to renegotiate the contract. And then it's going to be this massive, oh my God, here we go. And they're going to renegotiate and say, look, we poured all this money into Spider-Man. We got the movies going so great. He's integrated now into the MCU so tightly that if you try to take him out, you're going to destroy everything that the MCU stands for. Why don't you just give us complete 100% ownership of Spidey and we just go home happy? And mark my words, that's probably what would have happened. But Sony stood their ground and said no. There was rumor that, and this was a rumor that was going around publicly, that Sony and Disney had actually struck a deal, or were at least attempting to strike a deal, where it would be like a 6, possibly 7 picture deal. Tom Holland would stay. They were going to have Spider-Man going into college years after the third Spider-Man standalone film. Spidey would be going into his college years. He would team up with Firestar and Iceman, and eventually meet up with the Human Torch and the Fantastic Four. And to that, I want to say the following. I never liked Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. That was the stupidest show I had ever seen in my life. That was... I saw it. They were running episodes of it on Disney XD. Back when Marvel was just just coming into the spotlight with their majority of their movies and stuff, and Disney just like took advantage of this. Disney XD had it up, and I watched it. It sucked. It was god awful. Animation was horrible in it, especially for the time. And I'm not going with, this was just a show that, at the time it may have been cutting edge. No, this was like crap-o-rama. The plot was all over the place. It felt so forced it wasn't funny. I couldn't get with it. I really couldn't. And then you have them wanting to do this in a movie with Tom Holland playing Spider-Man and whoever they're going to get to play the other two roles. And I'm just like, no, that's idiotic. So that rumor was pretty much put to rest, though, like I said, when they announced that Spider-Man would be out of the MCU now entirely. At least the latest update that I had seen on this story is that Tom Holland and them confirmed this. So Kevin Feige and however you pronounce his name, and Tom Holland addressed this week's Sony Marvel breakup, which we see the wall crawler leave the Marvel Cinematic Universe. This interview was conducted at Disney's D23 Expo on Saturday. According to Tom Holland, in a chat he had with Entertainment Weekly, he goes, basically, we've made 5 great movies. It's been 5 amazing years. I've had the time of my life. Who knows what the future holds? But all I know is that I'm going to continue playing Spider-Man and having the time of my life. It's going to be so fun, however we choose to do it. He also addressed that the future for Spider-Man will be different, but it will be equally as awesome and amazing, and we'll find new ways to make it even cooler. And let's keep in mind, because a lot of people are instantly thinking back to the Tobey Maguire era and the Andrew Garfield era for Spider-Man, and they're going, well, this is a shit show. Because they didn't like the fact that the third Spider-Man movie with Tobey Maguire sucked. I liked it, but everybody's like, oh my god, that was horrible. They shoehorned Venom in there. You had New Goblin, you had Sandman, there was too many villains, the plot was all over the goddamn place. And no, if you think about it, the plot really wasn't. It actually flowed very nicely. Because in the first movie, it worked out so well as the ending of the trilogy. Because in the first movie, you had Peter Parker basically getting his powers, adjusting to life with his powers to a point, and basically realizing that being a superhero is not going to be an easy gig. Remembering Uncle Ben's words, with great power comes great responsibility. So he knows that I just can't fight crime for the hell of it. I have to fight crime, while at the same time protecting not only the people of the city and the people that I care for, but the people that are doing this as well, because they have to learn from their mistake. Because when the Green Goblin died, he kind of just felt remorseful, like, okay, I royally screwed up here. Then you have Spider-Man 2, where he's basically in what I'd like to call a flux, because his powers are draining, he can't control his powers anymore, he's losing them completely, and it literally took Aunt May, was it no, I think it was, was it Aunt May or Mary Jane? I think it was Mary Jane. Yeah, it was Mary Jane. It took her getting captured by Doc Ock, by Dr. Octopus, for him to finally regain his powers. It's like all of a sudden the dormant power is just laying in there. It's like, look, you built up this wall around me, I can't break free. And then all of a sudden you have MJ getting captured. Next thing you know, he just busts out of that. And it's like, okay, that's it. It's go time. I know what I have to do. I have to be the hero. And then the third movie is basically him, it's not so much a horrible movie. It's him coming to grips with the past things that he did. He wants to try to keep the balance that he has in his life now. He has Mary Jane. He's friends with, Harry Osborn. But Harry's, kind of uppity because he knows that Peter's Spider-Man. So he wants to kill Peter. You have, the ramifications from what happened to Uncle Ben. And all of this coinciding with the fact that you just have this massive you have this symbiote alien that just comes out of the sky from space that latches onto him because it can sense his anger when he finds out that Sandman, or I forget the guy's name. I forget the guy's name. Flint Marco. I had to think for a second. When he finds out that Flint Marco was actually responsible for Uncle Ben's death and not the guy that, died not even really by his hands in the first movie, all of a sudden it's like, okay, I've come to my realization. I want to get this guy because I want to get justice for Uncle Ben. But he's letting, as Aunt May said, revenge is like a poison, and he was just letting that take over. He wanted revenge so badly that he just let the symbiote take complete control when he felt the power. It's like, look, I have the power now. I can do anything I want. And he just forgot Uncle Ben's words that with great power comes great responsibility. He's just completely let it go because he wanted to have the great power to stop everything bad from ever happening. He just completely blocked out all of it. And it took the realization of that. That's the ironic thing with the bell. Ironic that it was a church too, but it's the bell that kind of helped them break free, not only from the symbiote because of the sound, but it also was sort of like, this is the wake-up call that you need to, you have to remember Uncle Ben's words. With great power comes great responsibility. You have to actually, help people. Don't just go out for revenge. Don't just go out to kick somebody's ass because you feel like it. You have to make sure that what you're doing is right. So there is that. So the third movie does work because you have all three villains. You have Harry, who is basically, Peter's current, if you think about it. Flint Marco was the past. That was the one that killed Uncle Ben, which started him down the road to be a hero. He wanted to go full circle and finish him off to get revenge. You have Harry Osborn, who's now the new Goblin, who's freaking the hell out because Peter killed his father, and Peter just doesn't want to lose his friend because he's happy where his life is right now. He's got Mary Jane, he's got Harry, he's got good friends, a good girlfriend, he's happy. And that represents the current. And Venom, in a way, represented the future. This is what you could be if you would just let go. Don't think about anything else. And this is the dark future that you could have ahead of you if you choose, flat out revenge. But you could choose to spare your enemy, or you could choose to not spare your enemy. And that's basically what he learns. Although Eddie Brock doesn't learn it the easy way and ends up dying in the explosion, at least as far as we know. But yeah, there's that. So I had no issue with the 3 Spider-Man movies. The Andrew Garfield movies, I actually thought they were good. I thought he did a damn good job playing Peter Parker. I don't know what he did to piss off the executives to get him thrown out after the second movie, but I thought he did pretty good. Tom Holland, though, I will not deny he is a damn good Spider-Man. He's like he is the best so far. I'm not going to lie about that. But you have this, and fans are just pissed off now because now Sony has Spider-Man back, and now all of a sudden it's like, oh well, this is great. There goes any good Spider-Man movies ever coming down. But what Sony lacked in storytelling and presentation with the Tobey Maguire era and partially the Andrew Garfield era, they have learned from watching what Disney's done. It's like having a student. Imagine Sony is the student, because Disney's been around for too goddamn long, but you get my point. Disney's older and wiser. They don't act it, but they are. And what Disney did, in a way, is they taught Sony, okay, this is what you have to do. This is what, world building is. And Sony has a lot of Spider-Man's characters that they can do the world building. We could literally have the Spider-Verse in real life, if you think about it. We could have, Spider-Man and Venom getting together. We could have an Agent Venom and Spider-Man team up, if you think about it. We could have a Spider-Gwen, if you go down that road. Miles Morales, Spider-Man 2099. All of that. I think they have the rights to Black Cat and Sable. So there's those. They learned from what the MCU did. It's like, look, we have the rights to them back. Let's see what we can do. Now, that's not to say that down the road they might screw up, or because of this entire backlash from Disney and everybody just wanting to hate on Sony the moment this happened, that all of a sudden they're going to go, well, that's the end of this, and Sony just starts losing money hand over fist, and then Disney just comes in and goes, look, we'll buy Spider-Man, the whole shit show for you for this much money. And there you go. And then fans for the Disney side are happy again, the Sony fans are moderately happy, and everybody just goes back to where it was before, only now you have to have Spider-Man reintegrated to the MCU, and they'll throw Tom Holland under the bus if he's still there. I can almost guarantee it. So there's that. And it just keeps going on and on and on. So many times in so many ways. So, I mean, fans were, like I said, jumping down Sony's throat. There were fans that were upset because they said if Stan Lee would still be around, that this wouldn't have happened. And Stan Lee's daughter came out and said that she's, I don't remember if she said she was proud of Sony, but she was explaining about ways that Disney really disrespected her father. There was just a lot of not only mudslinging, chucking, and other stuff in this entire ordeal that it just got way out of hand. And it got way out of hand fast. And I think fans know that. Fans have, I think, realized that now more than anything. That's like, look, this got way out of hand, and he's out of the MCU. There's no other way about it. He's out of the MCU. Yeah, that's basically the whole thing here. He's done. Both level companies, they couldn't get this thing together. They just couldn't, manage to get it together in one fell swoop. It fell apart. It's done. Spidey's out of the MCU. He's out of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. There's not going to be any more Spider-Man movies with Marvel holding the reins. And I'm staying on the fence on this as much as I can, but I would like to once again congratulate Sony for finally doing what no other company and no other studio has had the balls to do, and that's to tell Disney to go take a flying leap. Okay? Disney has been in charge for too damn long. And it's not like Marvel's going to suffer from this, because we have an entire, their Phase 4 lineup that was released. You have Black Widow. They're having Shang-Chi, Legend of the Kings. You have the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Wanda and Vision, Loki, and all these other ones. And most of them are going to be on the Disney Plus thing. But you have all those. I don't think Disney is going to worry two shits about Spider-Man at this point. They mostly wanted it so that they could say, look, we have every single Marvel character. We've run Sony into the ground. We are the upper echelon. And Sony said no. And that's the thing that I would like to have taken away from this, if anything. Just come right out and remember, Sony said no. And like I said, I knew this was going to go over like a 22-minute topic, because it was the huge news this week. So, Spidey's out of the MCU. There's really nothing else to say. He's just out. He's out of the MCU. Fans were upset, and yeah, that's it. But yeah, I don't know. More power to Tom Holland. I look forward to seeing what will happen down the road. I'm eager like everybody else. Let's see what Sony can do. I mean, their Venom movie did well. Let's see what Sony can do when they have, when they have the reins. Let's see what they can actually bring to the table. So they might do really well. You never know. Okay, so if you were a fan of the Matrix movies, the 3 movies, you had the Matrix Reloaded, and the Matrix Revelations. The story of Neo, the guy that lived in the computer world that was saved by Morpheus and Trinity on board the Nebuchadnezzar as they helped to free their people from Zion. And I'm going to admit the 3rd movie sucked, okay? I remember playing The Path of Neo on the PS2 because I'm like, I want to play a Matrix game. This is the only one I could find. Okay, let's just play this one. And I'm playing it, and I remember getting to the end of it, and the one person... They actually had the 2 creators that came out at the end of that game, and right before the boss battle, and they literally explained to you why this is about to make a massive shift from what happened in the movie. Because in the movie, Neo kind of pulled the Jesus and kind of, realized that he has to be his own, self, and he needs to do all this stuff. He took the religious route, basically. Yes, I don't talk about religion, so that's the further I want to go on that. But the creators go, that doesn't really sell well in video games, so they tweaked the ending where you have to take on a giant Agent Smith. Either way, both endings sucked. I never liked the movie because it's like, look, Neo dies. Okay, he sacrifices himself to save everybody. Got it. And your point was what? He was the chosen one. It's not like it's spelled out he's going to survive. Whenever you're selected as the chosen one, you're usually going to die. That's a no freaking brainer. That's like Chosen One 101. You're going to die. Rule number 1, you will die. Rule number 2, you will not be able to change rule number 1 no matter what you do. It doesn't matter if you defeat an ancient dragon that grants you immortality. You are going to die. But Matrix 4 is officially a go, with Keanu Reeves, Carrie-Anne Moss, and Lana Wachowski. I know I mispronounced that, and I do apologize. But either way, we have Matrix 4. Oh, God, no. Why? Why Matrix 4? Why Matrix 4? Why are we even getting a fourth one here? I mean, the third one, like I said, the first one was good. I'm not going to lie. The first one was a good movie. The second one was all right because you had to have a sequel. The first one was too good to not get a sequel. The third one falls under trilogy hell. It's that lovely little conspiracy where, look, the first and second movies did so well, let's make a third one. No, let's not, and say we did. Then you have the convoluted plot of, oh, look, the robots and the machines are going to come and attack Zion, and now everybody has to stand and fight, and they're going to come in through this tiny opening, and we have to get into these exosuits, and we got to fight, and we're going to have the braveness of the people that's going to come out and shine, and everybody's going to try their best to save the day, and all of this stuff just makes no sense anymore. Whereas the second one didn't make much sense either, but at least that one gave us... What the hell did that even give us anyway? An excuse to say we saw the second Matrix movie, I guess. So, I don't know. I actually think I still have that yet. I have like the entire trilogy plus the animated movie in one set. I think I still own that. I got it like real cheap, so there's that. But Warner Brothers Pictures and Village Roadhouse Pictures are going to produce and globally distribute the film. And this is just, it's, oh God, this is going to be weird. But here we go. And I want to stress something in a moment here. But Keanu Reeves and Carrie-Anne Moss are going to be reprising their roles as Neo and Trinity, respectively. The chairman, the chairman, Warner Brothers Picture Group Chairman Toby Emmerich said, and I quote, "We could not be more excited to be re-entering the Matrix with Lana. Lana is a true visionary, a singular and original creative filmmaker, and we're thrilled that she is writing, directing, and producing this new chapter in the Matrix universe," end quote. In addition to Lana, the script was also going to be written by, Al Kizendar, Herman, and David Mitchell. Yeah. Sources say the film is eyed to begin production at the top of 2020, which honestly just bothers me so much. Warner Brothers has been trying for the last couple of years to find a way to get back into the Matrix universe, but a hold-up over production rights slowed the project down more and more and more, and yeah, it's just got horrible here. So, I want to stress something here, because for anyone that's seen the movie, first off, it was a massive technological achievement back when it came out. It was like as close to a video game movie as you were going to get back in the 90s and early 2000s. So that was impressive. But, and I want to stress this, how are you going to have a sequel, a fourth movie, when you killed off the two leads. Think about that. Because if I saw the third Matrix movie correctly, Trinity dies in the ship when it crashed. Neo dies after taking out Agent Smith and saving everybody. So, explain to me how you're going to have a fourth movie. How? Tell me how. I just can't. How? This is almost like having a sequel to a movie where at the end of the first movie you kill off the main character and they're back in the second movie. No explanations given, no rhyme or reasons given. It's just like, yeah, hell, we're back. Let's do this again. It makes no sense. But yeah, so we're getting a Matrix 4, and I just keep shaking my head at this. I'm like, why? Why? Do we really need a Matrix 4? Do we need one? But apparently, I guess we do. I mean, don't get me wrong. The Matrix was a good movie. Except, oh, okay. Up to the third one, The Matrix was a good movie. The third one, like I said, trilogy hell just affected it. And it's not alone. There have been multiple ones. Back to the Future Part 3 sucked. The Karate Kid Part 3 was a train wreck. And The Matrix Part 3 was a shit show. And that's just 3 off the top of my head. So, yeah, trilogies often have problems when it comes to, flat out understanding, keeping the world that you've already built, or basically making it seem good. It's like you're trying to cram everything into it because you know that, we got to end this. It's this is the final movie. So everything gets shoved in, and it's just all over the place. It's just disgusting. And that's how it is, basically. And fans are just freaking out about it and flipping out about it. I understand where their issues coming from, I really do, but there's nothing you can do at this point anymore. So the movie's coming out. Maybe it'll get stopped. Maybe something will happen. It'll get delayed, go into production hell. Who knows? I'm hoping, but you never know. I mean, something could happen. Who knows? But either way, we are getting a 4th Matrix movie. Yay! YouTube. Good old YouTube. This is an interesting topic. So, YouTube has done something really weird. Now, happily, from what I've read, I'm pretty sure that they've undone this. Let me double check here. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so apparently this has been undone, or at least partially undone. But YouTube's algorithm banned robot fighting videos under the basis that they were animal cruelty. Now, first off, animal cruelty is not funny in any way, shape, or form. I want to stress that. I'm against it wholeheartedly. But this is hilarious in a cosmic sort of way, because this is robot fighting. Okay, this is 2 nerds built a robot in their garage, put them to the battle arena, and they're fighting to the death. They're robots. They're basically, look, I can go pick up my parts at my local electronics store. I can go to Best Buy, or I can go to my local hobby shop and pick this stuff up, build it, and have it fight. Okay? That's what this is. Animal cruelty, on the other hand, if you want to go about this, would be like cockfighting or dog fighting. That's not what I'm talking about here, nor will I ever talk about that, because that's horrible. This is robot fighting. So we all knew this was going to happen Sunday. Google's AI is just so... It wants the machines to take over, basically, is what it is. But on Monday, it was reported that Google's YouTube... the AI basically took down YouTube videos of robots basically fighting each other. Okay, like BattleBots. Think like BattleBots. Okay, that's what I'm talking about here. So if the algorithm out there thinks that I'm, doing this on purpose, this is actually a topic. Okay, I'm talking BattleBots. Okay, think BattleBots here, folks. saying they violated policies against showing displays of animal cruelty. This is an interesting thing. There actually is a video on here, Mass Destruction 9, Speed Wedge 1 versus Uber, which apparently was claimed and determined to show animal cruelty. The video was posted by Jameson Go, who competed in the last season of BattleBots. He says that he received the following takedown notice from YouTube for that video and 8 others. Saying, in quote, Jameson's tweet went as follows: "Today is a sad day. Robot builders across the world cried out in agony as YouTube's algorithm falsely identified personal videos of robot sport as animal cruelty and cockfighting. Today I lost 9 videos, but others lost hundreds or more. If you were affected, do your part and let YouTube know. Save our sport." And there was like 4 hashtags: hashtag BattleBots, hashtag let the bot battle begin, hashtag not cockfighting, hashtag no animals here. YouTube's response to, I guess, that they sent him in the first place, explained that as part of their community guidelines, which everybody had to understand, his video, Mass Destruction 9, Speed Wedge 1 versus, it's Uber Song, was flagged for them to review. Upon review, they determined that it violates their guidelines and have removed it from YouTube. And then down here, a little later on, it actually explains it, but yeah, they're saying that, it's because of this and that and this and that. Video content restrictions, impact on your account, and everything else. But according to YouTube's YouTube channel, the YouTube channel makers muse, Sarah Pohoreki? I'm mispronouncing it, I do apologize. Who also competed in the last season of BattleBots. Okay, so this is the YouTube channel makers muse. Okay, who also competed in the last season of BattleBots, had similar takedown notices. Motherboard reported her channel was also given a strike. The speed and volume with which these videos were taken down was lightning speed. Suggested that it was due to some overactive moderation on YouTube's end. The company has since confirmed to The Verge that the videos were removed in error and that no policies prohibiting videos of robots fighting yet. They have no policies yet. I like the yet part. Y-E-T. Of course, because we all know that the great Google, the Google dying system will eventually, the Google dying will eventually take over, and all of a sudden we will have GoogleNet, and Skynet will be a thing of the past. Google will be everywhere, and all of a sudden all your Google Nests will start acting up, and Google will instantly integrate itself with Alexa, and all this other stuff will just go nuts, and that'll be the end of it. It appears though that most of the videos that were taken down are back up for now. But watch them quick, though, because you don't know if YouTube's AI is going to just look at this and go, "Hey, you're hurting our robot brethren. Video's banned. Hey, no, that's hurting our robot brethren. Copyright strike, video removed." I understand nothing about this. I want to know how the algorithm determined this as animal cruelty. It's 2 robots fighting. There were key phrases in this. Because whenever you put a video up on YouTube, you have to put tags in it. So unless there was a tag in there that would have said something that might have gotten their attention, which first off, it probably would have given their system like a, ooh, look, there's a warning here, or, oh, look, hey, suspicious, and then they check the videos like, oh, okay, it doesn't say anything, it doesn't have anything to do with it, okay, not an issue. And that's the part that I'm getting. It's like, okay, so the AI just glitched? Or did it think that this was actually that? Now, it could have been some type of new system that they could have been trying out, too, where it's like, look, it's going to scan the videos, and if it deems it fighting, it's not going to be able to distinguish an animal from a robot. First off, that's a massive problem. because then you can't distinguish much of anything then. If you can't tell a piece of machinery from a living, breathing creature, that's a problem. That's a big problem right there. But it probably, if it's using like a program that was scanning the video, it may have looked at it and thought, okay, there's like some type of an arena, there's two small things fighting, and people are cheering. And it just instantly thought, okay, this is dog or cock fighting, and it's banned. So, yeah, and like I said, animal cruelty is not funny in no shape, way, or form. And I'm gently reminding people of this. I'm not for this. Robots want to duke it out? Be my guest. I will sit in the stands for that. Animal cruelty? I'll report your ass. Believe me, I'll report your ass on animal cruelty. Robots duking it out, two nerds building a battle bot in their garage and taking it to like a parking lot and having it go crazy on another robot that somebody else built. I'll watch that. I loved battle bots. That was one of my favorite shows. But there you go. So Google's Google's brethren is getting up there. It's going to find a way, I guess, to make sure that its robot brethren are protected for all time. All hail Google. Okay, so there's a new Dragon Ball Z game coming out, and I gotta admit, this looks pretty cool. Dragon Ball Z Kakarot's an action RPG. It's pretty cool so far. They got some new footage, original character, stuff like that. But what's interesting is that we got to see a gameplay demo. It's like 17 minutes. IGN had it up on their thing. There actually is a video on here. It's from Gamescom 2019. It's basically Piccolo and Goku taking on Raditz. For anyone that's ever seen Dragon Ball Z, before Toriyama retconned it in Dragon Ball Super Broly, before he retconned the entire origin story, Goku's older brother Raditz came to Earth to pretty much convince Goku, hey, you're Saiyan, you need to come back to the Saiyans, you need to help us all out now, we need you, because we're going to take over the entire universe, and we're going to rule it, and we're going around getting all the Saiyans. Of which there's you, me, and 2 others, that's it. And that was basically the gist of it. He wanted Goku to murder half a dozen people and bring the bodies to him in like a day. And Goku, being the peaceful, kind warrior that he is like, that's not happening, and was going to go fight him. Piccolo shows up and goes, look, I know we were enemies in the past, but we got to fight together now. And they basically fight and take down Raditz, with Goku sacrificing himself to hold him, while Piccolo fires his, in the Japanese, it's called Makenko Seppo, or, as you know it here in the US, Special Beam Cannon. So that's basically what the gameplay is, and it's actually really good. I gotta admit that. It kind of seems sort of like that One Piece game that was released. It seems like One Piece World, or Treasure World, or Pirates World. It kind of seems like that, mixed in with a definite RPG, like a decent RPG, not some piece of shit RPG. So that's really cool. But we also have an original character. That's basically getting shown off. And this is actually an interesting one because it's the 6th member of the Ginyu Force. Now, for anyone who remembers the Ginyu Force, or as I like to call them, the universe's black eye, the blind spot of the universe, they consisted of 5 members, at least that we knew of. There was Goldo, the one that could stop time by holding his breath. You had Raccoon, who was super strong and freaking dumb as a twig. Chase and Birder, who Birder was super fast, but claimed he was the fastest in the universe. Yet their boss Frieza was stronger than them, so that's a bullshit claim right off the bat. And Chase, who was the ass kisser to Captain Ginyu, who was the leader of the Ginyu Force, who had the ability to change bodies. The 6th member of the Ginyu Force is Bonyu. She is the 6th member of the Ginyu Force. And yeah, she's a she. It almost looks like, I'm assuming, and I don't really want to sound insensitive with this, but it looks like she's of the same race that Chase was. judging from the design. I don't know what alien species Chase was, but it's basically similar. So there is that. Looks pretty cool though. I'm not gonna lie. It does look pretty cool. There's a picture in the article. But she's apparently gonna have a side quest as well for the character. There's some gameplay, a trailer for the Cell Saga, where you can see all that stuff happening. There's a small demo for the Cell Saga that I guess happened at Gamescom 2019 as well. It's Gohan versus Cell, so you can watch that. Either way, this is really cool. I'm not gonna lie. This is coming out in early 2020. It's going to be released on PS4, Xbox One, and PC. But it's just interesting that we're actually getting a decent... And I want to say this. We're getting some more decent Dragon Ball Z games now. Because, I mean, you can timelessly tell the story of Dragon Ball Z because unless Toriyama gets a whim to redo it again, it's already set in stone. I'm not even going to lie about that. It's set in stone. At least Dragon Ball Z is. It's been around for how many years now? That's what I thought. But almost every game retells the entire story from the start. Raditz appearing on Earth, the Saiyans coming after him, like would be Vegeta and Nappa. Then because Nappa and Vegeta laid waste to the Z Fighters, save for Gohan and Krillin, had to go to Namek where they encountered Frieza. Vegeta shows back up because Vegeta wants immortality, doesn't get it, no shit. And yeah, that's basically it. And then you have the Android Saga with Future Trunks. Although there's also the Garlic Jr. mini saga, but people hate that one because it's a filler. I liked it because it kind of gave conclusion to the original, the first movie, which I still think is part canon, you morons. I don't mean to sound sensitive, but I've gotten into like several arguments with this. And I've stressed my case on this. The first movie is canon in a way because it does have the elements that set up the stage for the other movies. Or for the rest of the series. So it is in a way canon. And I like how they go, well, Piccolo doesn't remember Gohan. I don't think Piccolo was going to remember. Well, they're all shocked at Goku as a kid. Yeah. And Krillin lives with a freaking guy that has best friend's a turtle. He's a lecherous old man. What do you think's gonna happen? You think he's gonna really remember that? No. I don't see that happening. But yeah, I still think the first movie's canon. And like I said, anytime when I've been getting into arguments on it lately, I'm like, you know what? It's canon. Come at me, basically, because I still think it's canon. I really do. But you're gonna have that. But it's like every time you have a new Dragon Ball Z game, you always have to start back over from the start. And it's not bad. I'm not gonna lie. What I saw of the gameplay footage is pretty good. You definitely have the feel of an RPG. It does have... I mean, it is like a standard, straight-up RPG. Especially a nowadays RPG. Think Xenoverse, but without the Toki Toki City or the... whatever the hell it was called in the second one. Oh, no, the first one was the Time Nest. The second one was Toki Toki City. That's right. But yeah, basically without those... It's an open-world environment. You can find characters all over the place that'll give you quests. In the demo that I watched, Ader from Dragon Ball was there. He gave Goku a quest of, hey, could you destroy these rogue robots for me? I'm not, if you remember Ader, he was against violence. And it's basically, yeah, not a problem. And Goku goes, destroys them, and gets some items. And that's what seems like to be the main feature of this game. So you have the side quest, you have all the good stuff that's happening. It's not a bad, I'm not going to lie, it is not a bad game from what I've seen. Now keep in mind, all I saw was the demo, so there's nothing really to go off of, but yeah, still, it could be worse. It could suck, but I don't think it's going to. But either way, I guess I'll have to wait till early next year to find out. But still, the demo looked pretty sweet, I'm not gonna lie. Alrighty, folks, I think that's gonna wrap it up this week for the Absolutely Completely Random Podcast. In all honesty, it's been one hell of a week, I'm not going to lie. But hey, don't forget, if you find a topic that you think would work well for the podcast, feel free to let me know. Send it to one of three places, if you please. In the discussion section here on my YouTube channel, You can also send it to me via Twitter at OtakuRoads, or you can drop it off on the Web Designer 18 Facebook page. You can actually find links to get you to both of those pages in the About Me section here on YouTube. So in other words, just click on the About Me section. Down on the bottom, there's a thing that says links. You can click Facebook, and Twitter will take you right to the Web Designer 18 Facebook page if you hit the Facebook one, and will take you to my Otaku Roads Twitter page, which is my actual Twitter page if you hit the Twitter one. Yes, that's right, because I do Twitter. Actually, I'm on Twitter a lot more than I'm on Facebook, but yeah, either way. But that's going to pretty much do it, though, this week. Thank you all for submitting your questions. I will be recording the Q&A video on Tuesday, is what I'm aiming for, because that way I can enjoy some sleep tonight. I don't have to quickly rush and quickly set up my backdrop. It's like, no, I could do that Tuesday. It gives me something to do. So thank you all for submitting your questions. And, let's see, is there anything else I'm forgetting? You know, if I'm actually doing that, yeah, okay. Thank you all for submitting your questions. If you end up throwing a couple of them in the comment section of the video, of the podcast here, I'll gladly take them. That's not going to kill me or anything because, like I said, I'm not recording until Tuesday. But that's going to be like the minor cutoff. I can't go any further than that. Reboots, Remakes, and Retcons Episode 3 will be recorded on Thursday. I'll be putting that up on Saturday. So there is that. At least that's my game plan. Now, stuff could change between now and then, but that's my game plan. But either way, thank you all so much for hanging out with me for the last hour or so. And until next week, I'm Andrew Rhodes, and this has been the Absolutely Completely Random Podcast.